Hello, Rockbridge. Welcome once again to Bearing News First and currently only question and answer video segment. So let's start things off with some of the questions viewers have been writing in these past few weeks. To begin with, what is the most awkward moment you have encountered with a female? Well, I believe last time I answered what my most awkward moment was, but that didn't necessarily involve a girl. Now with a female, well, there was one time when I was visiting my family in Phoenix, Arizona, and my cousin Kate, who would be the same age as you or some of the viewers, she's a senior in high school this year, her good friends, who are Jewish, were having a Seder meal. So Kate and her family were attending the Seder meal, and I agreed to come along because Kate's good Jewish friend was, she's like this, I'd heard about her, she's this great singer and supposedly had many of the other qualities appreciated by the superficial man. So Kate and I went to the dinner, but they had forgotten that they were supposed to bring the wine, Kate was. So being a cross-country runner, I don't know if you know that, I raced back to Kate's house and got the wine, and then I brought it in. And that night I was walking with the hostess out on the street in the moonlight, and she said, "Jake, I really want to thank you for bringing that wine." I was like, "Oh, it's nothing, it's nothing." She said, "No, seriously, Jake, thank you." I turned to look over at her. She's gorgeous in the moonlight. I wasn't paying attention to where I was walking, and I walked in through an open manhole into a septic tank. So there's that. Dear Jake, why am I so single? Well, there could be many reasons for that. Trying to think of a good explanation for being single is usually sometimes when you are searching for someone, you need to find the person who makes, no, I don't know. Chimichurri or cherry changa. Chimichurri or cherry changa. Both delicious flavors of bubblegum cherry changa. No question. It's chimichurri sounds like something out of Mary Poppins. Cherry changa sounds like a zesty Latino dance. So let's think about which flavor we'd prefer of dancing, and I think we'd easily discover which flavor of bubblegum we should be consuming. It's the Latino one. Are we humans or are we dancers? Stockton. I don't believe the Killer's song ever actually answers that question. It is in a poem. There is a Killer's music video and a Killer's song based around it. And I don't really understand the music video because it's like an eagle flying overhead, and then the lead singer is like wearing an eagle, like it's like an eagle jacket, which I don't know what it is, but I do need to buy one. If any viewers would like to send in a gift, an eagle jacket with a... Who is the most attractive member of One Direction? The blonde one. Right. I know the individual members very well. Yeah. Anyhow, who is John Galt? I don't know who John Galt is, but I think through our powers of deduction, you and me can probably figure out a few things about this John Galt. He is male. He is probably of English descent from the British Isles, maybe. And because of his last name rhyming with malt, perhaps we can presume he works at Dairy Queen. Why do you not go to Stuco committee meetings? This is actually a bit of a funny story. I am on student council, and perhaps I have not been quite as diligent or responsible as I should be in attending student council meetings. But this morning, I got up extremely early at 5:55, which, if you don't know, is very difficult because it requires a lot of grooming to get to this position. So after racing through all of that, I attended a student council meeting this morning regarding Dance Marathon, which is an event all my viewers should attend. I was able to participate, and I offered many ideas such as how we should play show tunes at Dance Marathon, which ultimately did not pass. Jake, why do I love your something so much? Love you so much? P.S. You are beautiful any way you are. Words can't bring you, and then I can't read the last bit. This viewer was saying words can't bring you, and then they kind of scroll. I think in their moment of passion describing me, which is understandable, they probably just swooned. And I recognize this handwriting. This is a male. For the record, what do you do when you keep making awkward eye contact with someone? Now, this is a problem I feel like we all suffer from, is awkward eye contact. And so, I do it, you do it, we all do it. Now, if you, the best thing to do is when you make awkward eye contact with someone, it's an opportunity. It's not an obstacle. It's an opportunity for you to take your engagement with that person at that moment to the next level. Like if you're wearing glasses, take them off and really, really stare at them. Look deeply into their eyes, and the two of you will feel this connection, and then give them a little wink, and then turn away and put your glasses back on. And then it won't be awkward. Maybe it'll be uncomfortable, but it'll also be a nice, intimate moment for the two of you. What's the answer to the life, the universe, and everything by F.T., meaning Fitzgerald Trotter, I'm sure, is the name of that person. The answer to life, the universe, and everything. Life, the answer is simple. In life, what you have to do is you skip college so you're not in debt with the tokens before you get to the finish line of the board game. You just go not college, take whatever random career card they give you at the beginning of the game, and then you can work up by getting the little life tokens. You just have to make sure you get the spinner right, and you have to hope you don't land and get any kids, because the kids just weigh you down. Now, the answer to the universe is, shout out to all my Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fans, it's 42. I'll go with that one. And for the answer to everything, I would say bacon, because bacon makes everything better. If you were to write a book, what would it be called? Now, if I were to write a book, let's say, if we project 25 years into the future, I would estimate that this title of said book would be Klutzes and Kangaroos in Kathmandu, the life story of a bumbling traveling veterinarian. A little autobiography. Look for it. 2 decades, maybe 2.5. Dear Jake, what animal do you identify yourself with? What animal do I identify myself with? What spirit animal truly encapsulates me? Well, there's many different directions you could go with on this one. Some have told me I have the intellect of a Arctic fox. Others have told me I have the dashing smoothness of a leaping gazelle. But perhaps the animal, nobody's ever said that to me. But what people might say is Siberian Husky mixed with Dachshund. There you go. Like big, husky, short, stubby legs. Seriously though. Oh, this is from one of our email correspondents. You can email us at askjake@bearingnews.org. And it says, seriously though, why does no one use Google+? Ukiah. First of all, Ukiah, this is specifically for you. I love you. Second of all, the reason no one uses Google+ is because it's just too convenient. It's, you sign with your Google password and you can get right on, and no one wants that level of approachability. The entire point of Facebook and Twitter is the fact that we can separate ourselves from the people in our lives while actually pretending to care about them. And of course, there's also the fact that on Facebook, it's blue, and blue makes people happy. My family lives in this small Asian community back home, and a more powerful community is attacking all of the other communities around it. We once had peace where each community balanced each other, but now one is thirsty for power. They plan on taking over the countryside when a comet passes through the sky. While out fishing, my sister found a kid frozen in ice for what looks to be 100 years. We think he could help, but he seems so immature, and I just need to know how I can help him prepare for such a battle. Well, what you got to do is you take the kid and you listen to his advice. You take the kid to the elephant koi, you let him get the fun out, and slowly, I feel like you'll see him grow and mature over this long adventure that takes almost an entire year as you find new friends and allies, like a blind girl, perhaps, and discover the last of the dragons living in South America until you sort of get to go see yourselves at this oddly surreal play. But that's just one man's opinion. Another one. Jake, every time I look at you, I can't help but feel mesmerized. Then I feel depressed because I know I will never come close to being as talented or good-looking as you. The question must be asked, what is the secret behind Jake Dalton's amazing talents and stunning good looks? Well, the talents come mostly from the fact that when I was a small child, I believe I mentioned this earlier with the animal discussion, what animal describes me. I spent a lot of time at zoos, and looking at the zoos, you can learn a lot of things from the animals there. Like, I remember when I was a little kid, there was a chimpanzee, and he threw some of his excretions at another chimpanzee, and the other chimpanzee, he just went and washed it off, and he didn't fight back. And I don't think anything could better encapsulate the lessons pacifism and friendship that were taught to me by these two poop-flinging chimpanzees. Now, as for the good looks, really it's quite simple. You just have to obey the 3 T's of good grooming, which are the teeth, toenails. Jake should have thought about this ahead of time instead of using T, and the tibia. Gentlemen, I don't know if you know this, but women really enjoy looking at the lower leg. So just keep those tibias in good shape. And finally, this one is nice and impossibly packaged in a Post-it note. What is the meanest thing a person has done to you? This one is going to require a bit of reflection. The meanest thing anybody has ever done to me. Well, when I was smaller, I seemed to, I remember a class in which some of my friends were being rowdy and angering the teacher. And earlier, I think in that week, I had been rowdy and angered the teacher. I'll keep everyone anonymous to protect everyone. But what happened was, all these children, these friends of mine, began playing their own little game by playing cats in the cradle with a little piece of yarn. And I was excluded. First of all, for some reason they didn't want to play with me that day, which was sad. But what was sadder is the teacher looked over while I was sitting off in a corner, rejected by my friends. And she saw the students playing with a piece of yarn. And she said, "Jake, if you keep up that distracting behavior with your friends, I'm going to send you to the office." But ma'am, I'm not playing with them. They don't even want to play with me today. No, Jake, don't play cats in the cradle anymore. So I just kind of sat there, and she walked forward, and she angrily took the string away from them. And I was sitting in the corner more. I was like, guys, can I play? No, Jake, you can't play. And then they realized that there was a kid who had a removable strap on his backpack. And so then they took that off and started playing Cats in the Cradle with that. And the teacher just turned around. She saw them playing Cats in the Cradle with this strap. And then she kept panning until she fixed me with a venomous gaze and said, Jake, you're done. And sent me to the office. Keep up the good work, ladies and gentlemen. Keep calm and ask Jake on. I just need y'all.